You are Locked On Mavericks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, what a difference a day makes, and what a difference talent makes. After the big win in Brooklyn, the Mavs suffer a big loss in the Big Apple against the Knicks, 128-113. Here we go. Welcome into the Mavs Postcast, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. I am Jeff Biggs, 36-plus year NBA host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Dallas, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Mavs podcast feed. And coming up on our show tonight,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Well, we are going to talk about the Mavs at MSG minus AD and PJ. Also, the career night for Naji Marshall. Naji in New York. We'll get into that, and the monster game for Marshall at the Mecca. And we will also officially tip our cap and say goodbye to Kessler Edwards, who played his final game with the Mavs, at least during the regular season. Could possibly come back if the Mavs make the playoffs, and we don't know what's going to happen next season, but we will have some thoughts on that as well. And as always, we want to hear from you via the comment crew with your comments. Please jump in, be a part of the show. Want to get your thoughts on the game tonight, and what do you think of the Mavs now with 9 games left to go after this one tonight? They will head to Orlando with 2 more games left to go on this road trip. But let's get into what happened on the floor tonight at MSG.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, you know what? Last night I said the turning point was the tip. Okay. Not quite that tonight, but I'm going to say the turning point tonight was the start of the second half for sure. It was 68-68 halftime between the Mavs and the Knicks, and credit Mark Followell and the TV crew for passing along these little nuggets. But not only was the 68-68 tied halftime, not only was this the best combined shooting half for the NBA this season, it was the second highest halftime tie in Mavs history. They had a 69-69 tie with the T-Wolves, I think in 2018, if I heard correctly. It was 68-68 at the half, and Naji had the best first half of his career. He was just nonstop attack mode, going to the basket, just unstoppable. It really is. I promise I'm not going to go on a rant here or a tangent, but in this day and age of load management, light practice, and really no coaching, it really is. I just, and I mean this with a pure heart and pure motives. I do get stunned at times just how poor the defense can be in the NBA. And I'm not going on a rant. I'm not going to get into all that, but there were some possessions in the first half where your jaw just dropped. Like, this is the NBA. Unbelievable. But with that said, great first half of the Mavs. Again, no AD, no PJ playing for Jason Kidd with their 41st different lineup. And you're thinking, okay, you know what? They're in New York. They're feeling it. The Knicks are kind of flat. The Mavs got a boost from the big win over the Nets and the return from AD last night. Maybe they'll steal one here in the Garden against the Knicks. That did not happen. The turning point of the game was the third quarter. The Mavs were outscored by the Knicks in the third quarter, 30-16, and the big difference was shooting. They were 60% plus in the first half, and they went 4 of 18, did the Mavs in the third quarter. It was 98-84, Knicks after 3, and that was it. That was the ball game right there. A couple of other notes which you may or may not have heard, but I think they're worth repeating. The first time ever for the Knicks that they had 2 players finish with triple doubles. Only this one surprised me even more than that. It was just the 17th time in NBA history that 2 players on the same team ended up with triple doubles. And that's it for Kessler Edwards. His final game of the regular season, as I mentioned, and only 2 more games left to go for Brandon Williams after tonight. But 128-113, the final. Again, great game. Great. I mean, honestly, one of the more entertaining halves of the season. The first half was great. A lot of action, a lot of offense, a lot of Naji, but not so in the second, as the Knicks do what the good teams do. That's why they're the number 3 team in the East right now. The good teams know when it's game time and when it's time to step it up and take care of business, and the Knicks were able to do that, and they win it by 15, 128-113. All right, we'll have some more thoughts. We'll get to our player of the game. I think you know who that is going to be. And again, we want to hear from you via the comment crew. So please jump in and do that. 128-113, the final. This is the Mavs Postcast. All right, I want to talk to you again about our friends at Monarch Money. And it's that time of the year where you come out of the new year, tax time, and everybody's kind of thinking about their finances. And if you're like me, you check your bank account sometimes and you wonder, where did all my money go? I mean, just got paid and you had this bill and that bill, and you went here, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of the following week, and between dining out and shopping, a little entertainment, and it's very easy to lose track. So that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Now, Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It is a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, your investments, and all your spending in one place, and you stop managing your money and you start building wealth. It's really that easy. So you can see how much you're spending on your food delivery. You can budget, you can save more, and instead of juggling like multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan some long-term goals. Also, another feature too, if you're married or with your partner, or if you need to manage your money with someone else, it is really smoother than ever. You can track your shared and personal accounts, you can set goals, and you can stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. All right, welcome back to the Mavs postcast. The Mavs fall to the Knicks 128-113. It was a tie game at the half, a very entertaining first half, 68-68 before the Knicks blew it open in the third, really both offensively and defensively. The Mavs were 4 of 18 in that third quarter. They were outscored by the Knicks in the third, 30-16. The energy just was not there. Obviously, the shooting was not there as well. And give the Knicks credit, they stepped it up and took control of the game when they needed to and put it away in the second half. So, with that said, though, let us get to our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Well, no-brainer for me would have to be Naji in New York, the player of the game for Naji tonight. What a great game and well-deserved. I've been saying this now, it seems like really since the start of the year, just the fact that Naji is always now in attack mode. He knows what he needs to do to kind of get going. He knows to stay in attack mode. The shots will come, but the driving to the basket, the attacking, finding his spot, just being aggressive and tough. Love his game. Love the way that he has come on, not only this season, but really since the injuries, since the trade, the way that he has stepped it up and really tried to assert himself and be a leader by example on the floor with this team. And in the starting lineup tonight, Naji ends up with a career high 38 points in 38 minutes, 17 of 25, 1 of 3, had 7 rebounds, an assist, also a steal. And again, I mean, I really wanted to see him get 40. I'm kind of bummed that didn't happen. I'm also bummed that poor Kessler Edwards in his final game didn't get a point. Kessler Edwards got the start at center tonight, ended up with a 0 points in 18 minutes. Not the farewell for Kessler that we might have envisioned, but to his credit, here's a guy that was kind of, I think, as the injuries piled up early, I thought Kessler was kind of not lost because he's played in the NBA before, but I thought it took him a little bit to kind of get acclimated and comfortable with his teammates, but I thought he really did a good job and really made the most of his opportunity and improved his game, and I thought did a really good job. So hopefully we'll see what happens, but he has an NBA body for sure, and he really developed his shot as the season progressed, and so we'll see about his future. But Spencer Dinwiddie, who has been on a tear, kind of a quiet 13 tonight for Dinwiddie. Kai Jones, thought we might see him get going again, right on the cusp of another triple-double with 9 points and 8 rebounds. But the Mavs just looks, honestly, and I'm not making an excuse here, I think, they were so sky high last night in Brooklyn. I mean, they just looked completely flat tonight in the second half. Klay Thompson, a very quiet 6 points. He was 2 of 11, 0 for 3. Not a big game in the Big Apple tonight for Klay. Dwight Powell had 4 off the bench. Brandon Williams with 22 off the bench. He has 2 games left to go before his season is over. Max Christie had a really, really rough 3.5 quarters before finishing with 6. And it was a kind of a quiet, good game off the bench for Jaden Hardy, who ended up with 15. So the Mavs lose by 15, 128 to 113. We'll see what happens if the Suns can lose tomorrow to the Celtics. That would put everything back where it is. I mean, right now, because of the loss, the Mavs are a half game out. If the Suns lose tomorrow night, they'll be tied again with Phoenix holding the tiebreaker, but then the Mavs can get back to the business of winning and trying to pull ahead a little bit. And also, I think we should say that I think we can now keep our eyes on the struggling Sacramento Kings, who are now starting to fall back to the pack a little bit right now in the number 9 spot in the West. So we'll see. 9 games left to go for the Mavs, and a lot to be determined between now and then. But again, they will go back at it Thursday night in Orlando against the Magic. I will be with you after that one, so I hope that you can join me then. Again, we would love to hear from you via the comment crew, but tough one tonight. Great first half, but the Mavs end up losing 128 to 113. They fall to the Knicks. They'll try to bounce back on Thursday in Orlando. Hope you can join me then, but thank you for those of you that watched tonight. This has been the Mavs Postcast.